Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Gregtech, Community Edition Modern. As you can see right behind me, I have done a little bit of cleaning up. Haven't laid out foundations for any buildings just yet, but we have started out with moving our machines over. So now we've got, I did finish all of the high pressure steam machines. I'll go ahead and show you the recipes on those now. So for the macerator, you need 2 alloys. We need 5 wrought iron plates and a steel plate with the regular machine. Where was it? We got the macerator. We got the forge. Same thing. I think the most complicated one was the alloy smelter. No, the alloy smelter was easier. Which one was it? It's this other one that's right here in the middle, the compressor. Compressor. Ooh. Compress. So for that one, we needed 5 of the alloy pipes instead. So that was a little bit of a change. But we got all of those converted over. I have set up an automatic transfer system for the creosote. So we are getting quite a bunch of steam pumped into here, burning through creosote actually rather quickly. So that's the only thing I'm a little bit worried about, is because these barrels are not very full, and I did undo it with a wrench really quick just to save on that. But it does provide us with a lot of power, which is quite nice. But we are going to start with today getting our to get the steel plates, but we need to get ourselves so we got to get the sulfur out. I plopped that into the furnace to get smelted up, so now we got a stack of that. Then after the furnace, giving us some potions of fire resist, we'll just leave those there for now. We do need to get ourselves a steam extractor. And so to get the extractor, we're going to need 5 more of those tin alloy fluid pipes with a wrought iron plate and a steel plate. And then we just need 6 with a bronze machine casing. So 6 fluid pipes, bronze fluid, or machine casing, which I should still have plenty of bronze here. So let's go see if we can do that. We need 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's enough for the pipes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 would give us 6. That'll give us the rest we need for the casing. Then we just need a piston and a glass. So let's go make that piston really quick while we get 1 and 1. 4. We'll go ahead and plop that on in. Make ourselves the piston. Find our block of glass. Got our bronze. Make our way over here so we can do our casing. And then we need the hammer and the wrench to make our pipes. Oh, but I think we need normals. No, small will do. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That. Glass, casing, and piston. There's the low pressure version, and now we're just going to upgrade it to the high pressure, because I'm not positive that it has to be the high pressure, but I'm guessing it might, as there's some interesting interactions with the fact that some things where was I going with that? Oh, some recipes require you to have better machinery. So I was going to look at that really quick, but I'm guessing that might be the case when it comes to rubber, or to get the resin extracted out. But as you can see, these things are still burning nice and hot. actually kind of want to check something. I don't know if there's a way to redstone pipe up. Redstone. I guess that's something I'll have to look up later. I'm kind of wondering if you can basically make it to where a connection will not output if you have a redstone signal, so I can have it to where if that's empty, then maybe it doesn't output. Got our tin. Put that on in there. Guess this only gives us 2 more plates, and we need 3 more, don't we? Yeah. Silly goose. Go ahead and grab 2 more. Get those in there so we can make our plates and our pipes. That one and that one. There's all of the plates we need. Come right on over and make the additional pipes, and we should have everything we need otherwise. Just pop it on in, grab out the rubber that we do have, slide it right on into our machine slot, and let's check on what it does. We get a bunch of resin. We got that. So now we've got rubber is an excellent insulation material, and that's exactly what it's used for in Gregtech Community Edition. You want to use the alloy smelter to make rubber bars. These ratios aren't particularly great, but promise that making rubber bars will be much more efficient at LV. So let's go ahead and make those rubbers, which I believe rubber is literally putting the resin in. We will see. Raw rubber pulp. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and plop in oh, the exhaust vent's blocked. Oops. Go ahead and change that to be up top. So now with the rubber pulp, I believe we just alloy smelt this together, and we get ourselves some rubber. Very first rubber bar. Yeah, that is a really bad ratio. So I just plop all of it in there then. So I'm guessing we're going to need a lot more than just the one piece. We need to make it into a plate, but to make it into a plate, I believe we've got to do the alloy smelter with 2 of them. And I guess that's in my backpack. The plate mold right there. I want at least 1 more so we can do 2 plates at once. Put the plate mold in. That and that. There we go. We'll probably make another one of those up so that we can do that a little bit more efficiently. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and get some more of those in there to make us the rubber. Just keep using our steam. It looks like we got plenty of excess right now, so I'm not going to worry about rehooking up the creosote. But with that rubber finished, we'll get a bunch more of those, and we can look at making our first circuits. We've made it to LV. Give yourself a pat on the back. Just kidding. You actually need 3 circuits to get started anywhere relevant in LV. Thankfully for you, someone left the spare circuit laying around. We also want you to make an LV machine hole. For this quest, You'll need one if you're making any LV machine. We're feeling generous enough that this quest will grant you a second hull free of charge. Circuits are an integral part of progression in Gregtech, so keep climbing. Once you complete this quest and the LV motor quest, you're ready to move on to the LV stage. So to do that, we are going to need to finish this one first. So to make our circuits, we need a steel plate, we need rubber-covered red alloy cable, which means we're going to need to go get that red alloy we got, make it into plates, and then clip wires out of it. So let's go ahead and make those into plates. And we'll use our wire cutters to clip us some wires. One, two, three. And then we cover those in some rubber. Get on over here for ourselves a 1, 2, 3 of those. Then we need our steel plate, 2 resistors, 2 vacuum tubes, and a printed circuit board. So we got the single printed circuit board. We got those, and then the steel plate. I have one in the inventory. This will make us our very first... That's backwards. No, it's not. I had it right. Okay, very first one. Now we're going to need to make 2 more vacuum tubes. So we'll go ahead and make up what I need for that. And as soon as I get that second one done, I'll be right back. Alright, we're back with our second circuit just now. And then the last part of that quest, we also need to get ourselves a low voltage machine hull, which it looks like we just need steel plates and then some tin wires covered in rubber. So let's go ahead and get the tin out. We'll get those over here pressing out. We have the rubber sheets we need. Put those in there along with all of that for now. Clip these into wire. Put the rubber around them. And it looks like we have enough steel plates. We do not. And then we need 2 wrought iron and a steel. So that should be enough there. I just need to see if I got wrought iron plates. We don't need that anymore. I think I have at least 1 left over from before. Yeah. We got the 2 we need, actually. So now we can come on in here. I don't know. I don't think I've grabbed my hammer out yet, so I have to grab the hammer back out first. Hammer. That into place. That's not good. That's not what it asked for, because we needed a wrench. That's not good. Is that smelt down? Please. Okay, that's gonna give us our stuff back. Oh boy, that was a little scary. Seeing as we are now out of that, I am gonna go ahead and grab the wrench out. Can we smelt this regularly, or do we need to put it in a blast furnace? Yeah, I think it's stuck like that for now. It's a good thing we got some extra ones cooked up. We do need to pop them on in here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Make sure we use the wrench this time to make the low voltage casing and not a hammer making the steel machine casing. It's literally useless. That's even worse. Move that out. Low voltage casing. And then just the sorted out things that will get that mission complete. What brings us really close. But now it wants us to make electric motors. Good news. We're going to start cut down on the amount of components you'll need to submit for quests as you progress further into the mod pack. Remember that EMI is your true mentor. If recipes are getting overwhelming, getting back on topic. Set yourself up for low voltage by crafting 6 low voltage electric motors. This may seem like quite a lot, but it's the bare minimum required to get the good stuff in low voltage. Once you've completed this quest, the electronic circuit quest, you will move on to LVH. So here's where the fun begins, because we need magnetic iron rods, and I think, okay, now you can craft them. It's like, because I'm pretty sure to craft the polarizer you need the iron rods. And so that we're not wasting so much, we're going to go ahead and do, is it 6? So we need, that's 3. There is enough for that. Need a bunch more wire. So what? We need 12 would be 3, so 24 of those. So I think 24 would be 36 of those into here. So let it start hammering away. Something's gone wrong, and it's not... Oh, that's not good. That's why it's not working. You go grab my steam, or my pipes out. Pipe. It should be over here. I'm gonna get rid of the rain really quick. Pipes are put in a chest somewhere here, or are they in the other backpack? They're in the other backpack. So we'll disconnect those again. Connect this up. Plop it on there. Should move all the steam out of there. That'll get the creosote moving. Sweet. Now it's going to be a second. Let's see if I can get those other boilers up and running too. Help add to the steam system. Those will all take a second. Once I've got the materials to make the stuff, I'll be right back, as it's simply just gathering some tin wires, tin cables that are covered, some copper cables, and then the rods. So I guess we can carve out the rods really quick and add the redstone to 6 of those. There's all of those. So we have the ones we need of that, and then to make the 6, I'll just need to grab out some tin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. Alright, I will be back once I've got all the materials up and running. Alright, we got the last of the materials needed to craft those motors. So we need all of these components like this. Put the 6 of the regular ones there. Where did the rest of those ones go? Hello? Did I put them away somewhere? We're not. Where did they go? Oh, right there. Whew. I knew they were around here somewhere. I was confused at where they went. But there is all 6 of those low voltage motors. That'll give us a block of steel, which we can break down and get another couple pieces of steel. But with that now opens us up to our low voltage era. So with both the piston and the circuit board upgraded, we can now look at generating electricity. We can look at our basic wire mill, which is probably the first machine we're going to want, because making wires ends up being way cheaper. You get 2 wire mills, or wires from 1 ingot, rather than getting 3 down to 2 plates, and then getting 2 wires off of that. You end up making, quite like it says, I think it triples. Yeah, it triples. 2 from 3, and you get 6 from 3 after that. Yeah, so definitely the first machine we want, but we will go ahead and do this one first, as you must have a way to make power before you can even do anything with it. So first we're going to need a basic steam turbine generator, which will make 32 EUs per tick power. But we're going to need our normal bronze tubes, so this is going to be the bigger ones, some tin rotors, and some our motors we need. So let's look at that. That's what I thought. So we need 3 of the bronze plates to make a normal one. And then this is where it starts to get a little bit fun, because we have to get into a lot of different things. So let's go make 2 motors, or 2 rotors, using our tin. So get all of the rotors done first. So we will need 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. That should be all of what we need plates wise. Then we're going to need a tin screw. So let's go ahead and get our hammer, chisel, and saw out of our backpack. Hammer, chisel, and saw. So first, we're going to need our file. We need to make 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. And then 2 of them have to get made into a ring, which requires that. We saw in half for the bolts, and then make them into screws. Let's make sure they need to be screws. They do need to be screws. And then we'll need to grab out our screwdriver and our plates. And then we can make the rotors. We got our rotors now. Let's go ahead and pop those tools away for a second. Pop that one. All of those. Now we just need our pipes. So we need our hammer and our wrench. Hammer, wrench, and then we need some copper, or not copper, but bronze plates. Do I have any bronze anywhere? I have 8 in there, which is not going to be quite enough, so we'll have to do a little bit more alloys. So we'll need our tin. We need a little bit of our copper, which we got there. Probably 1 more craft will cut it, and then we're good. 1, 2, 3. 1 more. Because we only need 6, right? Yeah, 6 of them. And so we will be basically one ingot shy Put that one last ingot in there. Put those away for the moment. Grab out our bronze. And this will give us what we need to make the last two parts. Oh, not that. Hammer, wrench. Gives us that. Now we just need our tin cable that totally forgot about for a second. One, two, three. Make our plates. Grab out our wire cutters. Let's stick our plate mold with the rest of these in here. Probably gonna need more. So I'll just make both of these into covered cables anyways. So we'll even need it for power transfer afterwards as well. So it's going to be used whether it's used in a crafting recipe or not. But there is our basic steam turbine. So now with that turbine, that finishes off our electricity generation. Steam turbine is the only generator you can realistically use in LV. Later, you'll unlock more interesting power options, such as natural gas or petrols. When provided steam, the turbine will output EU at a ratio of 2 steam equals 1 EU. This quest unlocks 2 new tutorials on electricity and cables in the Tips and Tricks tab. If you are using a single steam turbine, you only need 1x tin cables. On the other hand, if you upgrade to 2 steam turbines, you should use 2x tin cables, else they may end up burning up. This is because of the amperage mechanic, but that will be explained later and you can enjoy playing, don't worry. But with that one, we're definitely going to want to make this wire mill. This will make everything so much easier. It looks like we're going to need another tin cable anyways. And yeah, that's literally the only thing we need to craft because everything else is already set. So let's go make that last thing. And we will finish up right there, because that'll be the base entryway to the low voltage. And I think we will go ahead and put the turbine here once it's done, so that we can show it off, making it working it, you know, tongue twisters. Working its magic. See, there is rubber. Come on. There we go. And our basic wire mill. So now we could actually go get another cable here really quick. Need that. With the sulfur. So yeah, now we can just hook it straight up into our steam. Is that intaking? Oh, we gotta change the directions. That's awesome. Okay. So that should be inputting, yes. Oh, this is the wire mill. You know what? That was kind of dumb. Okay. So there's that. Sweet. Now you can use uncovered wires. However, just like pipes, you end up electrocuting yourself. So we'll go ahead and pop these out. Place our plate mold in there. We'll make one plate. And then we'll go ahead and do that so that I can go ahead and hook it up to a wire. And then I don't have to stress about wires right away. We can just pop that on in there. We can power up our wire mill. Sweet. So now I could take a copper wire if I wanted, or let's just do the tin, because that's one of the ones we'll be using. Take our tin. Oh. Do we need one of these? We need a programmed circuit. Ooh. I've forgotten how to make one of these, and it's not telling me. Oh. So I guess you don't even need the program circuit. You just click on this little button down here. And that works. Interesting. Now we've got more tin wires. With that shows that we've entered... shows that we have entered our very first low voltage era. With these machines, we can look towards actually being able to process things at a much better rate. Because getting through this one, we can now make copper... I don't know why they're giving us that one, but going straight to that. We can then go through and we can make ourselves a couple other tools to make everything way more efficient and get us into a battery box, hopefully. Be able to store power on the fly rather than just having to store it directly in the machines as it does now. So it stores it, currently it literally will just store it directly in the machines as it processes stuff. So, which one of the bright sides with this is now we won't be wasting so much material. Especially since during this one thing it looks like something's gone wrong with it again. I guess I'll have to figure out why it's doing that. But I mean, it works out. It gets us exactly what we need. Now, I guess the next couple of tasks that we'll have to work on, besides getting the additional machines, is to actually come back down here. And we do have multi-block tanks. So, making one of these would allow us to store a large amount of creosote. I don't really think it's a great idea to store steam, as steam is created at such a higher ratio when it's done. I don't know if you can actually see it, but basically, like, the ratio of how much steam gets made is it's just not worth storing steam. On the other hand, storing the creosote so that we can do steam is great. And then one of the other things to look at, been just keeping up with this tree farm over here, just to show you one last thing, is that I just basically do that Minecraft glitchy thing where you just put all of them all in one spot. They all grow together, and then you chop down basically one massive tree with vein miner, or in this case in Gregtech with the Gregtech tools that just chop automatically. And then as you'll see, when I go pick it all up, we'll have massive amounts of wood that we can just go stuff into that box to keep making more creosote. Just got to replant the trees really quick so that we aren't wasting time on that, since the ovens are already going. And I am going to have to go get some more coal to fill the other one up, as it's quite clear that we're out of that, and want to have one running coal coke so that I have stuff for smelting up more steel in the meantime. And then I can have this one continue on smelting up more oak. into charcoal so that we have that. And then I'll work on trying to get this fed into another pipe to get that piped on over here to the solid boiler. I think I remember. We're going to try this really quick. So if I shift right click, that's exactly what we want. So that it only flows that way when we need it. Forgot about that. So if you shift right click, you'll direct the pipes so that they only flow in one direction. Which is pretty good, because we only want that one going that way. Can we do two different directions? Yeah. So we only want it flowing this way. I don't really care which way it flows there. But once it gets over here, we don't want it flowing this way. We want it only flowing that way. And that'll kind of keep all of the steam at the ends the best it can, instead of running it all back and forth. Well, this has been Precursor. We'll catch you next time on Gregtech Community Edition Modern.